My eyes adored you. Oh. This is Ador by Flux. We saw this machine pop up on YouTube last year. Then, it was ironic because we were at CES in January in Las Vegas. We met one of their representatives and learned all about this incredible machine, the Flux Ador. It was released in Europe, I think sometime last year, and now it's available in the US. And in a second, we're going to tell you why this is such a groundbreaking, innovative laser solution.
Ador can actually perform 3 functions. It does laser engraving, laser cutting, and it can print. Wow.
That's pretty cool. Flux has made the Ador laser with interchangeable modules to perform these 3 functions. You can purchase the machine with either a 10 or 20 watt diode laser, but there are additional modules you can purchase, including the 2-watt infrared laser module and a printing module.
Right? With the diode head, you can work with wood, leather, cardboard, and even black acrylic. You can also engrave rubber and some metals, cement, and even stone.
I'm going to try that.
The infrared module can engrave stainless steel, gold, silver, and a whole bunch of other metals, making jewelry personalization possible and a great side business.
But the printing module is the ultimate game changer. With this module, you now have the ability to print on flat materials. So if you have a plain piece of wood, for example, you can now add full color printing on it. And what's great about the print module is they have individual CMYK cartridges. Let's say you run out of magenta, you don't have to throw away the entire cartridge. You just replace the magenta.
That's right.
And we haven't tried the printing module yet, but we will try it soon. We'll report back here, so be sure to subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell to know when that video comes up. We're super excited about being able to color our own wood creations without taking the back-breaking time to paint them. You know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
What's really interesting about the laser head is how easy it is to replace. It's attached with one screw. I don't even know if that's necessary. There are no cables to disconnect. This is another game changer.
Absolutely. There is an 8 megapixel HD camera for lining up your designs perfectly, and the machine also features autofocus, built-in air assist, and an emergency shutoff button.
Hope we never have to use that. The workspace is 16.9 inches by 11.8 inches, which is larger than most competitors in this class. The maximum thickness, they say, is about 0.39 inches you can cut. Comes with this beautiful built-in 5-inch LCD touchscreen control panel dashboard. Super intuitive and just easy to use.
And the software is free, and it's called Beam Studio. It's super easy to use, but if you're a Lightburn user, there's a bridge available with a special cable. Here's a couple things we've made right after turning it on. We were able to cut and engrave wood and scratch acrylic. That's how easy it is. Let's take a look at the unboxing, setup, and the software.
All right, I'm not going to lie, maybe I was a little excited to see Flux Ador, and they sent us the extension base. Thank you to our friends at Flux for giving us the opportunity to unbox this and show this amazing machine over here in the States for the first time. So here is the extension module, and you're going to need this if you're going to do thicker materials or if you're going to use the rotary assembly, which they did send to us, and we will show that in a later video as well. You can see there's 3 different platforms or 3 different heights you can adjust it to. So I figured I'd just throw it on the bottom, see how this thing fits. And there's no tools necessary, which is really nice. It just kind of lays in there and falls into the right category. Obviously, we use it on the top. Now here is the Flux Ador machine itself. Be very careful taking this out. It's very, very, very fragile laser machine. Well, it's not that fragile. I mean, it sailed on a ship all the way from the other side of the world. Here's your power cable, and this is all it is. It's actually a little lighter than some of the other machines we have tested, so we thought that was nice. You open it up, all the packing materials are inside. Very smart way to pack stuff in here. I thought this was really clever. Here's your little book. It's in about 500 different languages, including some alien languages from other worlds, I think. Here's your power brick. Look at that thing. That's pretty massive. And a little test piece of wood in case you don't have anything to do your first test engraving. And in this box, you're going to find your little prisms in case you use unless you don't have the expansion module, the expansion base, the honeycomb, you can just use this to elevate your materials a little bit. And here is the 20-watt laser module and some lubricating oil just in case you need that, and a little tool. And they even give you the hose for ventilating, which is, you make sure you ventilate these things. You can run it inside your house, but put it somewhere close to a window or an air filter. So there's these two little bolts in here you're going to have to unscrew, and these are used for packing. I'm not sure what else they're used for. But you will need to remove these so you can move the rail. Just put them aside somewhere in case you need them for a future expansion. And you'll be able to take the rest of the styrofoam. There's a lot of styrofoam in here, and it's super well packed. And in the instructions, they tell you just to screw these things in here. They don't go in all the way, just a couple of turns, and then they stopped in ours. And it's not really doing anything. I think just maybe a place to store those in case you need to move it. Now, this is the little assembly for the vent hose. You're going to take that off on the back and just pop that on there, just loosen it up a little bit, and then tighten it up so you don't have any leakage inside your house. This stuff still can smell pretty nasty, especially when you start working with acrylic and some of these weird materials. So just tighten that back up and then find somewhere to ventilate that, hopefully outside a window, or you can buy air filters. There's a ton of air filters that are made specifically for laser engraving and cutting. And look at this, one screw is all you need. One little bolt, and you just take this out. It's already in the assembly, and this is really cool. You just hook it in there. I've never seen a laser module that was that easy to put on any diode. This is insane. Look at this. It's one little insertion. You just find that little hole there and you drop it down and then bolt it in. How easy. Then this is going to make your module changing a breeze. Some of these other machines we worked with, we have to take out 4 micro screws and attach a little ribbon cable. Nope, not with this guy. No cables, no air assist to fool around with. That is it. Plug that in and let's get started with Flux Ador and see what we can do with this guy. Oh, there's an extra bolt too in case you lose that laser assembly bolt. The laser head module assembly bolt's an extra one in there. So it's very thoughtful to do that. So we're going to plug this in. Of course, here in the States, we have 110. And then you just turn this forward. And it takes a second, so don't be nervous if the LED screen doesn't come on right away. It takes a few minutes for it to come up and fully initialize. And there it is. So we went through the initialization, the initial setup. We, of course, set our language to English, because that's what you do here in the States, but there's a whole ton of other languages here. It gives you some nice safety precautions, because safety is important. And this is, they do a little startup test here. It'll run you through some diagnostics to make sure that the laser head is attached correctly. The module is going to do what it needs to do. It has all the parts and everything in great working order. And they do give you that piece of wood. So you just pop that down on there and you're going to be able to do your first test engraving. So the homing test is going to make sure the X and Y coordinates are okay and ready to go. And of course, it's got an up and down Z function as well, and a built-in autofocus that we will look at in a second. You have to make sure that that material is under the laser head. So you actually want to move the laser head so it is directly over the material that you're going to be working with before you initialize the autofocus. All right, now that autofocus is all set, I'm going to put my sample piece of wood in there, and it's the moment of truth. Does this thing work? Of course, I had to run the autofocus to make sure that that worked. And it does a nice job. You put it right over somewhere on the piece of wood, and it's going to go down and kind of touch with the back of the module here. And then it kind of puts itself exactly where it needs to be. Close the top, and we are ready for the working test. And this is going to do a little bit of an engraving into the sample material just to see what it looks like. We put a camera inside. You can see that the laser is kind of purplish, as most of the other diodes in this category are. And it was pretty quick. Went through the entire process. And to be honest, I did speed up the video because who wants to sit through that? It's boring, right? So we take a look at the result, and there it is, engraved perfectly, exactly as it's supposed to be. Then we just connected it to our Wi-Fi network. And now, boom, we are ready. Congratulations. You're on the way to creating amazing things with your Flux Ador. This touchscreen is pretty cool. It's very, very bright and a little bit different. So we went to the Flux website to get to the software. So we go to the downloads area. It's available for PC, Mac. I think you can even run this on Android. And from what I understand, I haven't tried this yet, there's a web application, which means you could run this on pretty much anything. So we went with the stable version of Beam Studio, their proprietary software, and on our Mac, and it's working flawlessly.
This is Beam Studio software. It looks like most other applications with drop-down menus across the top, icon menus down the left, and layers and parameter settings on the right. On the left, the fifth icon down is called Elements, and when you click on it, you get a pop-up box. Here you'll find not only shapes, but images that are categorized across the top. Under Decor, you'll find call-out shapes as well as frames. I selected a frame I thought would be a good shape for our project. The shape was then added to the canvas and I closed the pop-up box. I was then able to click on the shape and move it around the canvas and then grab the corners to resize it. The aspect ratio was locked so it maintained its shape. The shape is going to be a cutout of our sign, but we wanted an engraved border as well. So I clicked on Offset on the right, which popped up a box on the left. I'm going to set the offset distance to 2 millimeters. And now you can see I have two items on my canvas. I'm going to delete the original, and the remaining one on my canvas is going to be my cut layer. With that layer selected, I'm going to apply another offset of 3 millimeters, but this time I'm going to make it an inward offset. Now I have two images. I'm going to select that inward image and apply another inward offset of 2 millimeters to give me 3 images. On the right, I'm going to click on Layers and then grab the outer or biggest shape and move it to the right. Then I'll select both of the other two shapes, and I want them to be one shape instead of two. So on the right, I'll click on Difference to merge those two together, and then I'll click the fill box. This is the item I want to engrave. Now I'm going to go over to Layers again and click on it to get a menu selection. I want to rename this layer to Cut. This is a layer where I'll set all my cut parameter settings. Anything on this layer will be cut with those settings. I'm then going to click on the plus under Layers and add another layer. This time I'm going to call it Engrave. I want the image on the left to be engraved, so I'll right click on it and then select Move To and select the engraved layer. The color changes to blue because that's the color set for the layer when it was created. If I go under Layers, I can click on the color box by the cut layer and change the color to say red. Now it's easy to see that anything that's in blue will be engraved and anything in red will be cut. I can then move them on top of each other and align them vertically and horizontally. Now let's add some text by clicking on the text tool on the left. I can fix that typo, and then I can move the text to where I want it, and I can use the corner boxes of the text to adjust the size. I will admit it was a little bit finicky, and I want you to note that the color of the text is red by default. That's because it added it automatically to my cut layer. Not sure exactly why. But I want this layer to be engraved, so once I have it in place, I'm going to right click on it and then select Move to Engrave Layer. Then it will change it to blue. Filling the text with a color will make it fill engrave versus line engrave. Next, let's import an image by clicking on the second icon on the left. In the pop-up box, I'll look for the image and click Open. Then use the corners to resize it and move it into place. I moved both the text and image layer to the right and aligned them vertically and grouped them together before moving them back and aligning everything vertically. I'm going to select the Engrave layer and set the parameter to New Zealand Engraving. And I'm going to select the Cut layer and set the parameter to that one to New Zealand Cutting. For cutting, I'm going to use Power 100, Speed 8 with 3 passes. On the Engrave layer, we went with Power 80, Speed 200 with 1 pass. From there, we went up to File and clicked on Save As and saved our project. I then went to adjust the size of my sign before I realized that I can preview what material I have in the machine by clicking on that little camera option in the upper left corner. When you click that, you actually get a visual of what the material is in the machine. This will help you to size and place your design properly on the material. Before previewing, you have to hit the autofocus button on the front of the laser. Then click that triangle in the upper right-hand corner and it goes off and does some calculations on your design before getting you to the screen where you can actually start the cutting process. With your material already loaded in the machine, go ahead and click on Start.